extra stream. So the idea is that there's supposed to be a 2-week challenge, paint over thingy. But there is no entries. So I don't need to do any paint overs. So what I will be doing, hey Belial, welcome. So what I will be doing is no paint overs. I will have some fantastic apple juice. And just, I guess, paint something. That's about it. I don't think it's going to be a very long stream today. But I'll paint something and see what happens. Hey Belial, how's it going? I saw that you posted on a private message on Discord some of the 3D stuff. It looked really good. I was at the beach when you posted it, and I just came back, so I haven't been able to properly look at it. But it looked pretty spot on. As far as I remember, maybe one thing that was off was the neck. It felt very like a turtle, like forward. I think that's the only thing. Is it the right person? Maybe I'm not even talking to the right person. But no, yes, it was you. It's okay, Belial. I'm Swedish. I'm English is my third language. But he's very. Your boss is very much like this. He needs to go. That's the problem. What I saw. Hey, Dylan Kojiro. Good morning. Good morning. It's so engraved in my behavior from doing the warm-ups that I should say good morning. Welcome, rather. Welcome. But Belial, I will write to you so you can Google Translate English to Russian. How do you say I don't speak Russian in Russian? Не понимаю по-русски. And I just destroyed the Russian language. Sorry, I don't know how to speak Russian. No Russian here. I can just say a few words, but that's it. So what I'm kind of going towards here on this painting, I'm kind of seeing a woman or a character, like the face is there, kind of like perspective. So it looks like a massive giant, and we can have a person there looking up at this thing. That's what I see. So let's see if what comes out of the sketch. So today was pretty good. It was really nice weather, and the sun was shining. Me and my kids and my wife, we took taxi ride to there's this beach area, and on the beach there's swimming pools and sofas that you can rent, like Roman style square sofas, like just a square, and you rent it for the day, and you can just hang out by the pool. Like there's kids pool and there's grown up pool, and then just next to that is the sea. But it's the Baltics, so it's like it's not tropical by any measure. So the kids just did cannonballs in the swimming pool, and ate fries, and I had beer. Just kind of extremely chill day in the sun. Hey, Sofa Strangler. Hey, Bellineer. You're new. I don't recognize that nickname. Bellineer. Sofa Strangler. Yo, 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 yo. Apple juice. Tomislav. It's a good name, that Tomislav. Isn't that's like Polish, right? Sofa Strangler. The real G from the hood. Yeah. Yeah, that's not me, no. Hey, Atsuki. Welcome. I'm gonna do some sort of demon big boss character. Let's see where that goes. Surface regular, yeah, no. I'm no gangster at all. Personally, I feel like that's a bit silly, to be honest. Mm, apple juice. Yeah, I can't personally. I can't deal with the whole that attitude. No, just go right. Okay. You think you're something? That's good. It's a little bit like what's it called? When kids, oh, make believe. That's what it's called. Imagination game. Like people are like, oh, I'm so gangster. I mean, sure. I mean, there is gangster people out there, but in my experience with all that kind of behavior, it's almost like wanted behavior, right? It's for me, it's like you assume that role, and then you just perpetuate it. Like you don't want to. I grew up in a kind of shitty neighborhood, right? Um, but a caveat to that, I grew up in Sweden, so in Sweden it's pretty good. Um, Big picture wise, you in theory you can't be homeless unless you really want to be homeless. Um, there isn't really ghettos in that sense, even though there are like no-go zones and things like that, right? But there's this huge subculture of play believe gangsters. It's like they're like, oh, they're rapping their rap songs like Americans, saying, oh, I live the hard life, like I'm coming from the hood, and all these things. And I always think, like, oh, come on, you're in Sweden. It's like You don't need to be in the hood. You just need to ask the government, and they'll help you. You know. But yeah, they sit there and nod with their hoodies and pretend to be like bad men. Granted, I mean they probably are hard. You know, they probably have been fighting, but that's not because they're forced into that way of life. It's more or less like they choose to be that way. You know, and it's not like maybe maybe even it's not a conscious decision. Maybe it's a taught behavior. Maybe it's what's it called, like osmosis of society. You just assume that that is your part. I don't know, it's kind of weird. Oh, Melanie, really, that's pretty cool. It's great that you heard about that and joined. That's pretty nice. Cool. I've taken over the world. So was Ragnar, yeah. Uh, Belenir, there's underneath the stream, I have put the icon of Discord, and if you click that, you will go to the Discord of 30-minute warm-up, which is my stream, um, and that's it's pretty cool people there. Very, in general, very very respectful, very helpful and nice community that I'm gonna try now to grow, because I'm one small edit away from finishing a contract, and then I'm gonna try to push for the next week or two to finish another contract. Then I'm all free. Ooh, then I will be building the community with like buying widgets and working on the website. The website is just as it is, untouched, more or less. um, anyways, yeah, so yeah, I'm the cozy neighborhood art gangster for sure. But anyway, that's cool. I mean, there's a lot of people at different stages of their career. So there's a lot of people um, learning. There's a lot of students. There's a lot of professionals. There's a lot of people that could be professionals. And for example, this week, last week, I had one of the community guys on the stream and on my scheduled stream, the 30-minute warm-up one, and interviewed him about his 1 year of freelancing, and which was really nice. You know, he decided as a student, okay, I really got to start freelancing, and he jumped straight in. His nickname is Novio, but it's Sergey Fell, I think. I think he lives in Germany. Um, but so that was really cool, interesting to hear. Like I mentioned while talking to him, there's a lot of professionals like uh, that say, like they've been working for 10 years. I have been working for 10 years, and there's a lot of people in a similar position like I am. And a lot of those artists are asking or being asked, like, oh, what should I do um, to get into the industry? What's the first step? What's the technical, like, what's the actual like thing I gotta do, etc., etc. And I haven't uploaded it to the website, Sofa Strangler, but it is on YouTube. YouTube. Let me dig it out for you, and I'll post it in the chat here. But yeah, so um, what was I gonna say? Yeah, so there's a lot of these professionals that are like saying, "Oh, like you should do these things, you have to do that in order to get a job. But they got their job 10 years ago. YouTube. Dylan, that's completely the wrong mindset. Join the Discord and just join in on the 2-week challenges. In on my Discord, um, every 2 weeks I set up a challenge, like a topic, an open topic, and you can do whatever direction in style, whatever interpretation of the topic you want to. In general, the topics are quite open, and what you do something for 2 weeks, and after these 2 weeks, I do paintovers, and I talk about what I think is the right and wrong decisions you made, or the technical problems in your drawing, or things like that, and I record them, like on this stream. And this stream should be a paint over session, but because it's summer and all that, no one is really obliged to do these challenges. But I'll stream because it's scheduled for a stream today. So I'm just hanging out, drinking apple juice, and talking with you guys. But usually I should be doing a paint over and show all these, and all these things are uploaded to the YouTube archive, which is linked underneath. You can find the channel. It's my name. The channel is my name. Yeah, so you shouldn't be apprehensive or feeling that you're not good enough. That's a defeative mindset, right? You have to be positive and know that you're, let's say, like on my IFCC talk or a lecture this year, I was talking about that, like art career or the journey of an artist is like a movie. Someone starts at frame 1, someone starts at frame 10, someone is at frame 1000, but it doesn't matter because everyone can skip frames, or you can fast forward, or you can start the movie midpoint. It depends all of who you are, what you've been through, how your mind works, and what information you receive at the right time, at the right mindset, right? So just, you shouldn't be worried. I mean, I began drawing at some point. I sucked at drawing. I mean, looking at this drawing, right? That's fantastic. It looks horrible, but I don't care in that sense. I know this is not portfolio worthy. I'm just hanging out with you guys and sketching and so on, and okay, if this would be a portfolio piece, I mean, I would probably start it the same way. I would just sketch it out and experiment. But then dedication comes into play. How many versions I do, how conscious am I about the reasoning behind the art, etc. But that's mileage. That's just practice, and you shouldn't feel bad about your art, because that's the worst thing. What if in 5 years' time you become a household name in the industry, or 10 years down the line? You don't know that. But if you're like, oh, I suck now, you're limiting yourself from 10 years down the line. I thought I was not good, but I knew that 5 years down the line, 3 years down the line, next month, whatever, I'm gonna be better. And that was enough ammunition for me to like supercharge me to not give up and continue fighting. Traumatized, yeah, definitely. I mean, 10-year-old game is horrible. Is shit. But I mean, like getting back to the other topic that I didn't finish talking about is why the Novio interview about him just jumping into freelance was really good. It showed in a way that even though I am 10 years down the line, I have established clients. I know I'm working for you name it in the industry. um, I could still kind of conjure up a good example over how to get a job, right? Even though when I started out, that was ages ago, and the industry was completely different. The games were completely different. The amount of information that's available for artists are completely different. I mean, 10 years ago when I started out, if you googled concept art in 2002, for example, you got like 5 hits. There wasn't concept art. And then I googled concept art and I found this website, conceptart.org, and I was like, ooh, what's this? And it was just one splash page with no links, no forum, no nothing. And it said like coming soon, and a date, I think. And I mean, the industry is day and night. It's completely different. And giving advice to someone, if I would give a play-by-play advice, this is how you get a job, in the same way I got a job, I wouldn't know if it was the right, what's it called? Recommendation, I guess. But yeah, luckily, listening into Novio, interviewing him, I got it. That's a pretty kind of universal way of doing things because it's tied to human behavior and visual arts, which is always acting the same way in the human mind. Hey, hey George, welcome. Hey Ink Mist, you're new. Welcome. Glad to have you here. Dylan, yeah, yeah. Just don't beat yourself down so much. Do what you love. There's this saying, I'm paraphrasing it, but do what you love until it's undeniable, right? It's like it doesn't matter what you do. You just really, really need to keep doing it, and until you get so good at it that no one will tell you to stop, right? They will be like, oh, I want some of that, like whatever that is, I want it. I can use that for something, right? And that's what's important. That's why there's also names in the industry that people know and that stand out, is because they stuck to their guns, right? They were doing what they loved to do, and they didn't change really that much in sense of style or whatever they did. Whoever Mobius, he's a standout artist. Hey, Aluminium, welcome. Glad to have you here, man. Sofa Strangler, yeah, art career aspect is a tricky one. Like, where do you want to work as? I mean, there is layers to that, right? But first of all, you gotta think about who you are and what you love to do. Do you love to come up with stories? Do you love to come up with paintings? Do you love to come up with ideas? Do you love to make things move? You know, and if you decide that kind of thing and get really good at just that, then who you're going to work for or for what is fine tuning. It's secondary, right? But I know that I come up with great ideas. That's like where my strength lies. Like I can give you a story right now, like at the top of my head without any problems. I can generate that idea. And I know that I could be a songwriter, I could be a actor in that sense. Like I could make up a history to a character and act it out on the spot. The skill set is in a way applicable to many different aspects of being creative for my sake. And that's something you also got to think about who you are, and don't try to like focus in too specifically. Like I need to be a prop modeler for Halo. That is very specific, and that kind of width of clients doesn't exist. And what you got to figure out is that your like innate skill set, like where's your strengths. At least start thinking about it, and then you can start developing that, or thinking about it. Um, exactly, Melanie. That's true. Like start thinking about it, start making a map, and figure things out. And one thing also about fundamentals is that you go back to them all the time. I mean, me 10 years down the line working for lots of clients, I catch myself going back to basics, because every time you go back to basics, you pick up something new. And it's like, oh yeah, like I focused for 4 years thinking in this way. And then you go back to basics and you see the basics in a completely different light. It's because, like you say, they're universal, they're dynamic, they are applicable to more than one thing. And it's proven that like you go down the line, and then all of a sudden you go back to basics, and you have to go back to basics because otherwise you're gonna stagnate. And then you're like, oh shit, that looks really cool. And or like, oh, I didn't see it that first time 5 years ago. It's it's really useful. Traumatized, yeah. We all hate our art, but it's true. Um, in theory, you should be you should dissect your work, but you should never think it's bad. It's a specific mind state, right? You can say, "Oh, I'm bad at art," but that's wrong. Like I talked about, I think on the last special stream 2 weeks ago, was I talked about. No, I lost that. My thought. Hmm. Should never say you're bad. Oh, god damn it! I hate when that happens. Just nope, not gonna be in your brain anymore. Let's remove that. God damn it! How can that be? How can my brain just delete it? Hard delete the thought. Oh god damn it! Mm. I know it was related to thinking that your work suck. Come on. No. No. It's gone. Alright. It's gone. Hey, the hero John. Welcome. Hero hype. The hero John. Yeah, this was supposed to be the 2 week challenge pin over, but there wasn't any work done for the 2 week challenge. everyone is busy doing summer, so it's just me hanging out and painting some bullshit. Shroom. Is that a trendy name for a stream? Stroom. Oh, yeah, something about cynicism. Oh, what was it? Come on, brain. Whatever. Yeah, so the idea, general idea is don't shit on your own art, right? Um, you should see forward in the sense of, like, I don't know, I haven't perfected art, right? I'm far from doing it perfectly. I know that I'm pretty good at it. I know where I'm bad at it. I know what I should focus on to get better. And I think that in some kind of weird roundabout way was the point I was trying to remember how to make, was like, okay, you are a beginner, or you are a 1 year veteran, or you're a 20-year veteran, you're Sid Mead and you're about to retire, doing a lifelong art career, right? But I'm quite sure that the people that stay in the creative position they're in, they are not having the defeatist mindset, right? They're not saying, "Oh, I fucking suck. Like, I shouldn't do this. Like, I'm really bad," and so on and so on. That is the extremely wrong mindset to have, and for everyone that are regular listening to me ranting in my 30-minute warm-ups before the IFCC, I was saying that I was feeling the imposter syndrome, right? The imposter syndrome is this mental mind game that you play, um, that everyone has to some degree, where you think that you are the only one in the crowd that doesn't know what they're doing. It's called the imposter syndrome. Like, you're the one, you're like the wolf in a crowd of sheep, right? But not in the sense that you're bad, but you're wolf in sheep clothing, and you're just like, you're the one shit guy, right? You're the imposter. And just being aware of that aspect, that the imposter syndrome is a global thing in all humans, that we want to think that we're not worthy. We want to think that we don't actually know what we're talking about. And I think it's a huge part of the ego, and it's a huge part of being insecure of skill sets, but also, you know, all these things. And I felt it preparing for the workshop, where I was talking in front of 300 people. You know, it's a scary thing to do, and I felt like I'm an imposter. But but in the end, you have to just rely on I am who I am, and people like what I do for some reason, right? So just rely on who you are and trust it. It's like sketching. Like, didn't do any fundamental sketching for this piece. I usually, when I do my warm-ups, I just kind of dive in. I don't try to question my knowledge, because that would become an obstacle in my creative process, right? I just go, all right, whatever. I'll sketch something out, and in the end, after 30 minutes, I'm hoping I'm hoping that something will be there. right? And that's the kind of mindset you gotta have. It's like, all right, whatever. Okay, I'm an imposter. Whatever. Let's go. And you just do it and keep looking forward. Talar inte alla svenskar på hotellet? Vilket hotell? Hey there, Hero Joe. Thanks for the host. I'm missing the text. I'm gonna dive into the chat log here. Yeah, exactly. I mean, about compliments, I think butt slapping is like, oh yeah, the best thing. But you know, everyone has a different point of views, and I think that is really important, right? Oh, what? You're marketing other streamers. What the That's okay. Yeah, compliments are good, but you shouldn't also just blindly trust them, right? You have to question what you are doing. Is it good enough? Is it worth? Have you pursued it to the degree that you are happy with it? Uh, are you actually able to do constructive criticism to your own art? I think that's a huge process where, I mean, if you constantly just getting like oh, good job, bad, butt slap, you're not gonna, if you're not careful, you're gonna think you're the, you know, God gift to mankind in art, but yeah, that you never are, because you can't win this game. He's just continuously chasing that bunny that keeps running on the racetrack. Hey, the DJ Warwolf 12 humanoid. What is that nickname? Come on, come on! You can't be serious with that nickname. The DJ were Warwolf 12. I guess there's 11 others. Underscore humanoid. You have to explain that. That's way too random. I'm assuming it was like, oh yeah, when I was 15, I was in a werewolf RPG clan or something. That's nickname is that's like a half a sentence. Traumatage, yeah. There's no, it's not a woman anymore. I knew it was kind of like a face up there, but yeah, this is going in some weird ass direction. It's all good. The DJ Werewolf 12 humanoid. I just make having some fun with you, man. It's all good. You gotta be able to laugh a little bit about it as well. That nickname, man. It's good. It's good stuff. Yeah, exactly. It's all good. It's so good. some users and their nicknames are really fun to stumble upon. Um, like some nicknames are like, what the what were you thinking? And usually, like a lot of the excuses are it's like, oh, it's an old nickname 10 years ago or 5 years ago that that I haven't changed yet. And like Linkin Park 57 or whatever, like yeah, you can. It's just skate for life for a 50-year-old guy. Yeah, the DJ Werewolf. Uh, why am I not? Why I'm normal while you're mistyping and chunking up your text into segments. That's very normal. No, sorry for singling you out on the stream, man. But it's all good. I'm just kidding around. You don't need to. Um, it's just me having some fun. Don't worry about it. Welcome. I'm glad to have a new face on the stream. Um, yeah. All right, DJ. Cool, man. I'll try to remember that. But you're very welcome. Thanks for joining in. Um, all you new people that are kind of new to the stream, how did you find this stream, by the way? It's always an interesting topic to ask because, sure, there's the regulars. I see the regulars names, and it's also a kind of like an unannounced stream, except I did the announcement to the regulars. So you guys that are new here are, it's an interesting way to see. I mean, I asked this before, and usually the answer was, oh, they were just randomly checking what's on creative, which is interesting. Yeah, but also aluminium 22. Come on, there's 21 other aluminiums. Aluminium, if you're considered new, new-ish, you're not part of the beginning visitors, but you're steadily becoming one of the regulars for sure. Oh, Kurageoji. That's pretty cool. That's interesting. You're also new. Hmm. Oh, that's really cool, the DJ. That's cool, man. So that must have been Tim Remmers or who hosted earlier? The Hero. The Hero John. number something. Aluminium, yeah, but I mean, it's all good. Just to reiterate, if you want to click follow, there's a button, I guess there. Or is it up there? Up there, maybe. Try to remember. There's a button somewhere for follow if you want to be notified when I go live. Otherwise, I'm always live at the same time at working days. And the usual setup for the stream is I ask for topics, and whenever I get 6 topics, I roll the dice. Usually the dice works. Now it doesn't work. So let me just fix the dice. Right, so usually what happens is like I roll the dice, like which topic is going to be, and it randomly selects number 4, obviously read. Yeah, so it shouldn't be rigged actually. Let's see. If it's 4 again, it's going to be hilarious. It was 4 again? Come on. It's going to be 4 again, then it's broken. There we go. Whew. Not rigged. Yeah, so then I pick a topic, and I start a timer, which is a 30 minutes timer. Hence the stream name, 30-minute warm-up. Every day at the same time, I draw a random topic based on your suggestions. But lately, I've been doing like small week projects. So let's say I'm developing an orthographic, or for the ArtStation challenge, I spent, I think, more or less a month developing characters on the stream, like improving them, doing line art, basic color blocks, and so on the stream. So I think in general, I think that's a really cool thing to do on a stream, you know, like show you a way to do it, even though it's just my way, it's not the way. I think a lot of people learned from it. At least that's what I got a sense of feedback. Like a lot of people said, "Oh, this was great," and they could see things in a different light. And a very, very funny thing, looking at a lot of entries on the competition, you could see people starting to adopt my my approach, which was hilarious, which was quite funny. Oh, water's shallow here. That's pretty cool, man. Yeah, I was a CGMA teacher, or CGA Master Academy teacher, for 4 years. I had approximately 25 students a term, and that was 2 month term per year. So in the end, that was four or 500 people, I think, that took my class for 4 years. And you can see the people that really applied themselves in class are now working in the industry. They're becoming recognizable names, you know, which is cool, which is really great. And I've been continuously being approached by old students saying, you know, your process is really good. I use it every day in my day-to-day business, and so you know that's really makes me happy to hear, because the idea of the class I did at CGMA was this I mean, what I'm doing now has nothing to do with my CGMA class. My CGMA class and my strength lies in production art and concept art and idea generation. And this is more illustration, which I'm pretty good at, but it's not my strength. You know, I can do it. I can do it now, tonight, while having some apple juice and talking bullshit. But my CGMA class was very pragmatic, breaking everything down in easily understandable chunks, and so on and so on. I'm working on my version 2.0 of that class, by the way. I've been approached by, I was approached by a lot of schools, and a friend of mine is thinking about setting up a school, which is very, very promising. And if everything goes well in the future, I'll be a teacher again. We'll see how that goes. It's over there, the follow button. Surely not. It's over there. Ghost Dragon drawing. That's pretty cool, DK. The water's shallow here. No, end of year maybe, or next year. It's nothing set in stone. But I really want to do the class again because I have lectured a lot since I did the CGMA course. That was 4 years. 2012, I made the class. I stopped the class 2016, 15. I think 15 or beginning of 2016. I removed it from online. I just felt like the content I provided was old, and I didn't feel good. So I didn't wanna sell it. So I took it down and prohibited CGMA to teach it or have it running with a substitute, because then my name would be associated with it, and it wouldn't be correct. I didn't feel like it was fair. But I've learned a lot from last time. But I think the pragmatic approach in the class itself is great, and it's really tangible. It's a really clear mindset to go into production art with. It's very, very efficient, and a lot of industry leading artists use a very similar process. You know, whoever household production art, concept artist uses a similar process. Obviously their own, because first of all, you can't reinvent the wheel, right? Production art is production art, and you can't really change it, but we are all doing our own twist on it. And my twist on it is just very specific, that works really well for all skill levels. That's cool water shallow here. I will make noise about it when I settle more with the potential schools and so on. There's some pretty cool stuff happening in that segment, which I gotta do follow-ups on. But it looks very promising. A new school on the horizon. That's extremely competitive and modern, which is always cool. You know. So how long have I been streaming? For an hour almost. I'm just feeling like It's pretty fun to stream. Great hanging out with you guys. But then I also feel a little bit like I could also go and play some games. Like, should I be an a-hole or not? Thanks, Dylan. This demon standing there. I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just kind of having some fun. Very tired. Uh, all that in between. I want to have yellow. I feel like it's time to put some yellow in here. Should the overall image be yellow? Let's go with yellow. Okay. Accent is desaturated. And my new found love selective color range. Is this good? No. Not like the face. Let's do that. Set it to color. Set it to color. Colon almost. Oh, Sofa Strangler. I think that's actually. I was thinking about that. Like, should I set up an account where I play games and then go like, ah, I know what you're doing. Yeah. Or like, oh, I designed that. I know who did that. Oh, I did this. I was thinking that that would be a pretty. I think that would be a pretty fun stream. You know, it's a good idea actually. I was thinking about that this week. Should I do that? Or I know this one guy who was like one of Europe's best FPS players, and he's just OP. He's overpowered. And I was thinking also, like, should I be playing with him and try to deal with him at the same time as I suck at games? You know, I think in general that could be a pretty fun streams, but yeah, I hate playing games because I know them inside out. I know the tricks. I know how they're doing it. If I don't know how to do it, I can reverse engineer it, and then I go, "Oh, okay, magic is gone. Bullshit." And then I just play mechanics, right? I don't play the experience, which is kind of shit. Water shallow here. Um, Favorite games? I must say. Um, Tactical games like Battlefield or shooters that are open rather than rail shooters, and where I can use my intellect to because I'm almost 40, right? So my ability of quick twitch shooting is uh, is limited, especially after a bottle or two of apple juice. Uh, and I just can't compete with like hyper dexterity 14-year-olds that play the game 12 hours a day. I'm just not that fast. It's impossible. And and but what I can do and how I can win over those players is that I'm smarter and I can play tactics that are unorthodox. And I love that aspect of those kind of games where I can just play chess with them. Right, Battlefield is perfect for that, and similar games. Yeah, exactly. Um, Yellow is warning, yellow is ill, sickness is vile, it's infection. Yellow is not inviting color. Yellow is used in nature for poison. Yellow is used for sunshine in that sense. Um, but if it's a green yellow, it's always plague. It's always sick. So using cools and grays with yellow, I'm trying to indicate plague, illness, offset. Like it's not right. It's some infestation. It's some thick air. That's the idea, right? It's like the plague folk. That's about it. But I'm just making it up as I go along on this stream. let's paint. Wow, that made some really funky lines in my Cintiq. They are solarized, the shades. It's really weird. Like bands of green and orange. That's pretty fucked up. Wait. What does that guy in CSI say? He's like, really? Or something stupid like that. Like, doesn't he say like, in jail? So I should go to bed really. So, color of eyes, super accent blue. No, that looks horrible. Looks kind of cool. That looks horrible. Oh, it looks kind of cool. That looks bad. That's the wrong kind of red. I kind of like that. Blue, actually. In jail. Oh, he says something. And he looks down and then looks up, takes off the glasses and says something stupid. What does he say? CSI glasses. Let's see if I can. I mean, I googled CSI glasses. Home run right there. But whatever he says, I don't know. But yeah, it's good stuff, man. Another thing with the selective color range, I was thinking about, like, what if you do a selection, you do color balance, and then you make the selection, and then you do color range based on only on that selection. You see, then you can get actually focal points, which is pretty cool. And then you can fade that, and then you get instant palette complexity, which is pretty good. Wait. You get intense Intense moment initiated. Complex palette. In jail. Man, I should go to bed. I'm quite sure he doesn't even say in jail. Just me being a retard. Traumatized, yeah, exactly. Well, I'm happily able to say that I don't watch TV, so I don't have that problem. My wife sent that funny photo. All right, I'm gonna. It's enough. I think it's a 1 hour stream. Um, it was supposed to be a paint-over session. No one did anything. Tomorrow morning, I'm gonna set a new 2 week challenge. We'll see if anyone feels inspired by that one. And then after 2 weeks, I'll see if anyone has contributed. I'll do some paint overs. Usually there's a lot of them, but it's summer, so you know I don't hold anyone with a gun against their head to do art. So usually hang out every day on Discord. So if you want to do art, hang out, talk about stuff, join the Discord. This stream was Saturday, extremely relaxed stream. Me being an idiot, uh, talking with you people, wonderful people. Um, yeah, I think I shouldn't be online anymore. too much, too much idiocracy. All right, have a fantastic evening. Have a great day if you're in that part of the world. Um, yeah. See you Monday morning at 10 past 9 a.m. UK time, which is evening night in America. America. Traumatized, yeah. Ex-wife. Yeah. It's like, give me pizza. All right. Have a good one, everyone. I shouldn't be online. Have a good one. Have a good one. Here comes the outro. Bye.